Hello, I'm Paul,
And I'm Wyatt.
and this is Father Son 49ers Talk. And it's been a couple weeks again since we got a podcast out. We actually did record a podcast, but I hadn't got it quite edited and pushed out. I think we're going to push this one out. The other one, we didn't really talk a lot about specific games and stuff like that. We really talked more about winning and losing and whether or not we should, win to lose and do that kind of stuff. So I'm still
Yeah.
probably going to push that podcast out. I'm probably going to push it out during the bye week. And we'll do another podcast during that time too, but we'll just push out 2 podcasts at that time.
All right.
Yeah. So how are you doing, Wyatt?
Good. How about you?
Doing good. So football season's over for you, right?
Yeah, it got over a couple weeks ago, I think.
Yeah, football season's over. And now what are you doing?
Wrestling.
Oh man, you're wrestling. That's
Yeah.
right. Yeah, you're practicing with the high school.
Yep.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, 8th grade practicing with the high school, and they invited you up, right?
Yeah, usually I practice with them, and every once in a while I get stuck with my cousin. He's a senior. It gets a little bit frustrating.
He whoops on you.
Yeah, he does. He's 20 pounds more than me and a senior. He just throws me around.
Well, yeah. I mean, that's what happens, right? When you get a little bit older. I got to start grappling again because you're going to get older, and then you're going to be better than me. So I gotta start, doing some judo again. That way, when we get on the mats, I can kick your butt.
Yeah. Not sure that's going to happen, but we'll see.
You said that's not going to happen?
Not sure that's going to happen, but we'll see.
Oh, okay. Well, that's like 5-6 years from now, so we'll see. Right now, my 220 pounds will still outdo your 110.
Yeah. I have a feeling. I get a weird feeling.
But you get a little bit older, you get a little bit bigger size on you.
Yeah.
And
a little bit more weight and a little bit taller.
Yeah, maybe that'll turn around, right?
Still don't think I'll have much of a chance, but
Oh, I think you probably will by then. Anyways, I'll be old and weak by then, right?
yeah.
Okay, so the game. We won a game!
Let's go!
Holy cow, we won a game, right? So that was
Yeah.
pretty cool. So I read a survey on social media where there was a bunch of people voted, hundreds of people that voted, and it asked 4 questions. Okay, I'm going to read the options for you, okay?
Okay.
And this is in reference to the 49ers against the Cardinals. So the 49ers, so we slaughter them. So we will slaughter the Cardinals. We barely win was the second option. The third option is they slaughter us. So the Cardinals slaughter us. And the final option was they barely win.
Mm-hmm.
Of those 2 options, or of those 4 options, well, we know what we thought. Now, the audience doesn't really know because we didn't publish that podcast, but we predicted that we were going to do what during this game?
Win.
Yeah, we predicted we were going to win this game. And, oh, no, we did publish that podcast. Yeah, we did. That was the one before where we talked about the Cardinals, the Raiders, and the Giants. And we said we were going to win against the Cardinals, we were going to win against the Raiders, but we were going to lose against the Giants.
Yeah.
Yep, that's right. We both agreed on that. So we pretty much guessed that we were going to win that game. I think I would have been in the realm that we barely win that game. It was going to be like, the bowl of the most turnovers or whoever did what, as far as who gave the game away.
Yeah.
But I
Most
thought we were going to win.
penalties and stuff like that.
So do you think that as 49er fans, do you think the majority of people believed that we were going to win or lose the game?
I don't know anymore. I'd like to say that we thought we would win, but I mean, at this point, I'm not for sure.
Well, just take a guess. Did you think we were going to, you thought we were going to win, but
I thought we were going to win. I thought we were going to barely win. I'm going to go with the majority thought we are going to barely win.
Yeah, you'd be wrong. It was 55% thought we were going to lose. It said they slaughter us. That was 24%. And then they barely win. That was 33%. Now, those two combined equal 55. But as far as the highest percentage of the single answer with the most answers were we barely win. That was 36%. But only 9% of the people polled thought that we were going to slaughter them. So 36 and 9, 24 and 31. So 55% and thought we were gonna lose, and 45% thought that we were gonna win.
Yeah, that's. I guess if you're just looking at the past game we played against the Cardinals, I mean, I could see where they're getting it.
Yeah, I mean, with what happened, and then when you look at it, coming into the game too, there was a little bit of, we have Nick Mullens, which is our third string quarterback. He is going to be the starting quarterback for the game, right?
Yeah.
And they have Derek Carr, their starting quarterback. So they have their starting quarterback. We have our third string quarterback, and we have been playing absolutely horribly in the last few games. And absolutely, yeah, I think that I could definitely see where people thought that we were going to lose that game. But, we don't have to speculate because we know what happened.
Yeah.
What were you thinking as the game was happening, or as you saw the stats for Nick Mullens?
First thing I thought was, okay, there's the start of the rest of the year. I mean, I think C.J. Beathard hadn't done anything to really prove his spot. He had a few games where he shined, but nothing that was consistent enough to be able to play there. Like, he showed some bright spots, but you can't just show bright spots and then show a bright spot one game and then the next game act like you shouldn't be on an NFL team. I mean, you have to be a little bit more consistent in that. And I guess we've only seen one game out of Nick Mullens, but with what he showed that game, I feel like he's to start the rest of the year.
Yeah, I completely agree. You sit there and there's this Mullens Mania. Mullens Mania. That's what I'm calling the podcast episode. Mullens Mania. And people are going around like he won the Super Bowl. And it was really touching to see him in the after. Go ahead.
So I pulled up YouTube, just going to watch some highlights. And I look up 49ers, and all I see is Mullens. I mean, I saw a couple of them. Is Mullens the franchise quarterback for San Francisco? It's like, whoa, calm you down.
Yeah. Okay.
You've seen one game.
So we're going to get into some Mullens Mania, right? That's exactly what we're talking about. And this was going to be, I was going to kind of go down through some stats, but I'll jump right to it since you already went into it a little bit. And I read, you saw, is Mullens the franchise quarterback for the San Francisco 49ers? Right? And what I read on Twitter, and I'm not going to say who it was or where I read it, or not where I read it is from Twitter, but who particularly I read it from. And they said, I love Jimmy G, but if Nick Mullens continues to win, then it's going to make for an interesting offseason. What do you think?
Yeah.
Mike? Do you agree?
No.
You don't agree? So what if Nick Mullens goes undefeated and from this point out is the best quarterback in the NFL?
Okay. Then I'll believe. But until I see it, I don't believe anything.
Is it going to happen?
No.
Is he the number one quarterback in the NFL?
No.
Is he the next Tom Brady?
Yes.
We talked about it. Yeah. We talked about it. And it's really Tom Brady wouldn't even really be the appropriate comparison. It would really be more Tony Romo, right?
Yeah, it'd be Tony Romo. Brady was took in the 7th, you said, right? I always thought it was the 5th.
He was taken in the 6th.
Yeah, 6th. Yeah, we split that. I remember that now. Yeah, Brady went or Romo went undrafted. Getting all my names confused now. Yeah.
Yeah, Romo went undrafted. But yeah, man, he definitely looked good. This is what I got to say about Nick Mullens. And first of all, I was watching the game, and it was a breath of fresh air. It was the most exciting, most fun 49ers game to watch all season.
Yeah, you watch it and you're just like,
the team.
Finally, I needed something.
Yeah, you can kind of see the offense come together and see kind of what we wanted it to be, right?
Yeah, this isn't a very good comparison, but it's like you're actually excited to watch that highlight reel.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely.
Like in the past games, it's like, oh yeah, I already know the highlight reel. In this game, it's like, okay, there's actually competition. What's the highlight reel going to be?
Right.
I mean, eh.
So with Nick Mullens, this is how I view it. I really see Nick Mullens as, when you watch him, there was a couple key stats that I thought were just pretty incredible. And actually, I lost one of those stats. I can't find it right now. But one is that the speed at which the ball came out, I don't have the exact stat of how long it was. It was like 2.4 seconds. It was significantly less than CJ Beathard. And this is coming from an Iowa fan. I'm a CJ Beathard fan. I want him to be successful. But the ball came out quick. And you know what happened when the ball came out quick? Zero sacks.
Ball got there quick.
Zero sacks. There were 0 sacks on Nick Mullens during this game. And one of the things that we talked about,
when he got the ball, he was able to. Something from. I know I'm just in junior high, but if you can see the field, and when you're reading the field, you want to be able to read the field quickly. And I feel like Nick Mullens is a guy that once he got the ball, he's making his reads as he's catching the ball. I feel like CJ Beathard isn't to that level of Nick Mullens getting the ball, finding the receiver, and throwing it. It's just
and they were showing, Aikman was talking about it and how Nick Mullens was looking safeties and cornerbacks off by looking in the opposite direction at other receivers and then immediately turning back to who he knew he was going to throw to. But he was composed, in control. But when we talked about signing other quarterbacks earlier in the season, we didn't. And the reason why we said that we didn't sign another backup quarterback to take over for CJ Beathard is because we wanted to make sure that our development continued. And for the development of the whole team to continue, we needed to have a quarterback that understood the offense, that could continue the offense that we're currently in. And we didn't have to limit the offense in so that everybody else could grow with it. And that was CJ Beathard. But Mullens, as it turns out, a lot of people say that he knows the offense. There is not a single person on the team that knows the offense better than him, except for Shanahan.
I think he knows the offense. I feel like Shanahan wouldn't have brought him in if he didn't believe he knew the offense. I just don't think I don't think he knows the offense quite that well. I don't think I'm buying into that. So here's the thing.
He came in he was brought into the team the first year of Shanahan. Because he's an undrafted free agent, he was brought in the same year as CJ Beathard. And he has as much or more time. He has more time than any other player on the team, except for the people that were on the team at the same time, brought on the team the same year, or were already there.
Yeah, you're right. I was just thinking about that. Shanahan did. Yeah, I forgot Shanahan was just last year.
Mm-hmm. So on top of that,
you're right.
Here's the story that everybody has sort of been talking about. It's kind of, in the Nick Mullens universe, which is the 49ers universe right now, was that as the third string quarterback, after every single game, he would get the rundown of the plays in sequence, and he would run every single play from the game right after the game by himself on the field so that he could he could get used to the situations and learn Shanahan's play calling habits and be prepared for when it was his turn.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. It'll be interesting to see what pans out there. I'm just not for sure what my opinion is on him yet.
Yeah, he's the greatest quarterback to play for the Niners in in the last 2 years, a year? I don't know. 5 games?
Yeah. Best quarterback to play for the Niners in the past 5 games.
I don't know. It's a little bit early.
That's hard to say coming from an Iowa fan.
Right. It's a little bit early though, for real. There's a lot of hope and hype around Nick Mullens right now. But during the preseason, we talked about it during the preseason, he looked good. And there were some people that thought that maybe he should be the starting quarterback. And I was one of those, not the starting, but the backup quarterback over CJ Beathard. And when he came in, I know it was not the first team offense he's playing against, but Beathard wasn't playing against the first team offense either.
Mm-mm.
And he looked good. He looked better than Beathard. He really did during the preseason, and it continued here.
Yeah, it just keeps showing that I think Mullens is better than Beathard. But I mean, all the darn hype going on about Nolan's the new Mullens, the new starting quarterback after Jimmy G comes back. That's
Mm-hmm.
just
Yeah, I
you
don't think that
see.
that's going to happen. No, I, don't, I think that that's being a little hopeful. Not, I mean, hopeful is a strong word. We paid Jimmy G a lot of money, but I mean, if you're going to look
Yeah,
at it in that light, this is the worst case scenario if that happens. Well, this isn't the worst case. There's a lot of things that could happen, right? Like we trade Jimmy G, keep Mullens, and then Jimmy G turns into the best NFL quarterback in the history to ever play, and Mullens ends up being just a flash in the pan. But I don't think that's going to happen either. However, if Mullens does play really well, and there is a talk. Let's say he wins every single game from this point on out, like Jimmy G did, and there's a talk: is it Mullens? Is it Jimmy G? The worst thing that's going to happen is that we have two really good quarterbacks on the roster.
and we have the highest paid backup ever.
Oh
I
yeah, well that's assuming that Jimmy G ends up
yeah,
as backup
that
for
was
all. If
that
Jimmy
was
G
just
ends
a
up as a
joke.
backup, he's probably going to be traded. But that's not. We did not say that Jimmy G is going to be traded. By the way, that is not what we said. So if they take that out of context, it's going to sound really bad. I think Jimmy Garoppolo is the
Yeah,
starting quarterback. We're just kind of playing into this
he he's our
Mullens
starting
mania
quarterback.
right now. Yeah, I really do think he's
Just
going to be good though. There's a chance that Mullens may be able to put a string of games together and build some draft capital for us. So let's finish up this
yeah,
Mullens mania. Let's go through a couple more stats. So one of the interesting stats I saw was that Nick Mullens has more touchdown passes in one game than the Buffalo Bills have in the entire season, of which
that's
three
a stat.
touchdowns.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
He hit 8 different targets, so he wasn't just throwing to one or two players. He was going all around the field, hitting everybody. So he had Kittle had 4 targets, 4 catches. Pierre Garcon had 5 targets and 3 catches. Ricky James, who this was another highlight for the game, right? Had 3 targets with 2 catches. Juszczyk had 2 for 2, 2 targets, 2 catches. Goodwin had 4 targets and 1 catch. Dwelly had 1 and 1, and Breida had 1 for 1. So we had some good stuff going on there, passing the ball around, spreading it all out. By the way, Garcon had 5 catches or 5 targets and 3 receptions.
I know. I was noticing that. Like when I was watching the game, I was like, "Well, Garcon's actually doing something this game." I mean, I say that like Garcon doesn't, but I mean, it just seemed like Garcon like truly played like the number one in San Francisco there. This
Yeah, he was
game, he
playing really
played like
well.
he was playing very well. When I think of the biggest or the best Garcon play of the year, definitely came in this game. The play
Mm-hmm.
action
Yeah.
to Breida, Mullens rolling right. I mean, touchdown pass, no one on that half of the field.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, Garcon looked really good. I mean, as far as he was getting open, he was getting the ball. I'm really excited to see what happens against the Giants on Monday.
Yeah, I'm really excited to see what happens there. I'm just excited to see Mullens back on the field and see if it's a one game deal or he's actually something that's to be watched.
I know, right? That's exactly what we want to look and see, and that's why every 49ers fan, we're wishing that we weren't on Monday Night Football so that we could actually see it on Sunday.
I was thinking Thursday. I mean,
Thursday, yeah. Well, we can't really do Thursday, but we're going from the Thursday game to a Monday night game, so we have
yeah,
kind of
no,
an
I mean
extended week.
Thursday to Thursday.
Yeah. It almost is kind of like a mini bye, kind of. I mean, you
Yeah,
play
right.
Thursday and then you don't play till the following Monday. That's pretty good, right?
Yeah, yeah, it's about like a bye.
Yeah, we have another bye week. Our bye week is after the Giants.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so then the last stat that I was going to talk about was the 0 sacks, and that was really significant. I really thought that him getting rid of the ball quickly was very, very good. So that was really good with
I
the
mean,
0 sacks.
yeah, this isn't really a stat. This is just me watching Mullens. It seemed like he was making good reads and finding. He wasn't like did a lot of forcing the ball into. He made a read and it seemed like one or two times maybe see him make a young quarterback mistake, but it seemed like he found the open guy and got the ball there.
Yeah, I
It
agree.
was it wasn't just him getting the ball throwing it. It was him getting the ball, finding the open receiver and throwing it while making it a significant less time than CJ Beathard did.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, so then let's talk about what you wanted to talk about. I got one more thing that we're going to bring up, and then, but you wanted to ask me a question, right?
A slightly early question, but so what's going to go on next year with the running back game? McKinnon,
Yeah.
Breida, what's happening there?
McKinnon Breida. I believe the way you asked it to me earlier was, is McKinnon going to get his chance?
Yeah, that's a better way to say it.
Yeah, well, because you said McKinnon, you were really more worried about McKinnon, Breida, and then Mostert, right?
Yeah,
Mostert.
Breida and Moister look good, or looking good so far, and McKinnon coming in injury. Is he going to get the snaps that we're hoping for?
I think that he's going to. I think that McKinnon's going to get the chance to be the number one. We brought him in. We're paying him to be that guy. That doesn't mean that Shanahan's not going to move on from him. Shanahan has shown that he's willing to play the hot hand, but he's also able to maintain two running backs. He's done it before with the Falcons, and I think that he can do it with us, and that's kind of what we want. I mean, can you imagine having Breida and McKinnon on the same backfield, in the same backfield?
Yeah, McKinnon more the pass catching, running like elusiveness, and then you have Rita, which has like a weird combo style run. It's like he can be elusive, but then he's got the power ability.
Yeah, yeah,
Sounds
absolutely.
pretty nice to me.
It does sound nice, and one of the cool stats, and I can't remember if it was two or three, but I read that there was the 49ers have had two different running backs with the most yards per carry in the NFL. That's Breida and Mostert.
Oh
At,
wow.
at a, yeah, at a particular time, they've had the most carries, the most yards per carry in the NFL, and Breida was leading the NFL there for a while.
Yeah, he was in. I think it was in rushing yards.
Yeah, and they're undrafted free
It was
agents.
rushing yards, right?
Yeah, and they're undrafted free agents, right?
Yeah.
So there's a lot going on there, and I'm really excited to
Yeah.
see it.
Undrafted free agents coming out playing big.
Yeah, and then we gotta hopefully we can get another wide receiver to add to the wide receiver core. I think that if we had another guy with Garcon and Dante Pettis, Ricky James, another guy to add with Kittle, then Breida and McKinnon in the backfield. And then with our offensive line doing what they're doing, our offensive line is playing out of their mind right now.
Yeah, it's crazy. They are. That was one thing I was sort of iffish on coming into the season. Like, what's that gonna pan out to be?
I
And
know we were all
it's
worried about
looking
that.
good right now. Yeah.
Okay, so the one of the other things that I read that was pretty interesting was that the 49ers right now top the NFL with the most money paid to injured players. And it's not even close. Not even close.
Yeah, I wouldn't imagine.
Right now, this is how it goes. The 49ers are first, the Eagles are second, the Seahawks are third, Falcons fourth, Jaguars fifth, Dolphins sixth. Then you get on from there. But so the Jaguars are paying 26.5 million right now. The Falcons are paying 27.3 million to injured players. The Seahawks are paying 28.1 million. and the Eagles are paying $29.8 million. So they're all right there in that 20 million range. And well, really in the 20 millions, but you get closer to the 30 million. The 49ers right now are paying 40.4 million to injured players.
Yeah, I was gonna say somewhere right about.
Right? And that's really incredible right now. All right, now you have Adrian Colbert, Brock Coyle, J.P. Flynn, Jimmy Garoppolo, Jerick McKinnon, Emmanuel Mosley, Raheem Mostert. Or with forearm. Right now, those are all the players that we're paying that kind of count towards that. It's a lot of money. And so, one more thing that we have to bring up, because we are faithful 49ers fans and we are faithful to our 49ers players, right?
Mm-hmm.
Is Frank Gore, right?
Oh yeah.
So,
Oh yeah. I've been bragging about this for like a long time now. People always every time I mention this stat that I know the exact stat you're bringing up, they're like, "No, look it up. Guarantee it's not. Guarantee it." All right, see for yourself.
right? So, what's the
All
stat?
right, go on with this. So he is fourth in all-time rushing yards, and last time I was checked, he was sixth in all-purpose yards.
All purpose yards. But that was the last time you checked. So, well, which he is six still. But who did he pass this week to become the sixth in all time all purpose yards?
I did.
He just passed Barry Sanders this week.
Oh yeah,
So
yeah.
Barry Sanders has
It's
all-time rushing yards, or all, not rushing, but all-time yards, all-purpose yards of 18,190. Frank Gore, as of this week, has 18,204. And by the end of the
wow.
year, so let's look at this. By the end of the year, he's probably going to be five. And with LaDainian Tomlinson, passing LaDainian Tomlinson, he has 18,456 yards. Right now, Frank Gore is basically he's 252 yards behind LaDainian
Yeah,
Tomlinson.
he's. I think he's gonna be in fifth by the end of the year.
Yeah, and if he plays one more season, then he has Marshall Faulk at 19,152. So he could probably, yeah, he'll be able to make that probably next year if he plays one more year. Walter Payton, it was just significantly ahead of him. So it was just 21,264. So he probably doesn't have a chance to make it up to the number three, but he's definitely he could if he plays one more year. He'll make five by the end of the year as long as he doesn't get hurt. And then he has a chance for four if he plays another season because he's gonna have to get basically 900 more yards to get to that point.
Yeah. So combine this year, next year, I think he should get it.
Yeah,
I mean,
absolutely.
he will get it as long as there's no injuries.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so let's move into the last part, and we're going to talk about the Giants game. And I haven't done a lot of research into this. I mean, the Giants are really bad. We know that. They won last week, I believe, right?
I'm pretty sure.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
Pretty sure they did. So they won. So they have 2 wins. We have 2 wins, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So do you still think we're gonna win, or you still think we're gonna lose this game?
No.
No, I
I
agree
mean,
with you. I think
I'm going out on a limb and putting out a bold prediction. No.
no, we're gonna win or lose.
We're winning.
Yep, I agree. I
That is
think we're
our
gonna
game to
win this
take.
game. I do. I think Mullens is gonna come out. I think the offense is gonna hit, and they're gonna play well. Hopefully, we're not gonna have any turnovers. I would really like to see that. I would expect probably an interception, probably at least one interception. But if we can reduce it to one turnover, I think we can win this game.
Yeah. I mean, the receiver is the receiver we gotta stop is Odell. I mean, he hasn't been playing amazing anyway, and we got Richard Sherman over here, like playing like he's Richard Sherman again.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Yeah,
I
but our
mean, the
secondary has
receiver
been weak.
they do, but I think if Richard Sherman can stop and help Odell, and then someone's just got to step up and take out Sterling Shepard, the slot receiver.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I mean, our secondary is going to be challenged. So if we can put our
Challenge.
secondary together and we can kind of keep it going, I think it'll all be okay. Okay, Wyatt. Well, I don't have anything else. Do you?
No, not at all.
Okay, love you, Wyatt.
Love you, Dad.
Bye.
Bye.
Okay, it's stopping right now. I said stop.